That's all right, Mum. Eric.
How you doing?
Hello.
How are you? There they are. So what are we cooking today? Ez is a chef. He's doing the menu today. What we're cooking?
Right, we're going to do a lentil dal as a base. Then we do a stuffed aubergine with a vegetable curry with chickpeas.
Very nice.
With a bit of chili, spring onion, and coriander.
Cool, love it. Beer of the day for me is so my mum and Eric came to visit me in September last year, and one of the biggest things that Eric enjoyed, we went through Albuquerque, they did California, we went to the Grand Canyon, went to Vegas. And one of the biggest things, as you liked, was the fact that the beers, there was such a variety of beers here, in particular the IPAs. And this is actually one of Eric's favorites that you liked here in America. It's a 7.8 Voodoo Ranger, if you can see that. It's an IPA.
Wow, a
little breakfast beer for Eric in Vegas. So that's that. So Ez, what are we starting with, mate? What's the first kind of thing we're doing? We've already chopped.
Right, we've chopped some onions, we chopped some vegetables, etc. We've got chickpeas done. We've got aubergine ready to rock and roll in the oven, which Lorna's going to put in the oven now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first things first.
So what was the temperature of the oven?
220.
220.
180, 220. Depends on your oven style.
So about 390 Fahrenheit in America.
Yeah.
All right, that's gone in. How long are we doing that for, Ez?
It's just basically to soften it up the inside, to soften it up. So about 10, 15 minutes. Right. First thing, you put a bit of oil in the pan, ready for your lentils.
Gotcha. So the lentils and the onion are going in here?
Right, we've got a little pan, some diced onion going in.
How much onion are we putting in this?
Half an onion. It doesn't have to be finely chopped, but just a smaller dice.
Okay.
And basically we're going to just get some colour on the onions. We're going to put the lentils in there.
Do you put them in immediately or once the onions have coloured?
Now you can put them together because you want to toast the lentils to get a bit of nuttiness of the lentils. Otherwise it's a bit bland otherwise.
Gotcha. How many lentils are we going for?
Well, this is a 500 gram bag, so I'd say half a bag, so 250 grams.
Half a bag, all right. Decent.
I'd have to have a measuring.
Maybe less, maybe a bit less,
Yeah,
but
that looks a lot, doesn't it?
That's what it is. So Ez is actually a professional chef, and he lives and works in Brighton. That's why I'm wearing my Brighton soccer top today. Ez, you got one on your sleeve, right? You actually work for the soccer club at the stadium. It's a beautiful stadium in Brighton. And how did you meet Eric, Mum? And when was that? 10 years?
At the squash club at Corals.
At Corals?
I used to go behind the bar and do a little bit of cooking, not a lot.
badly.
Wasn't that bad. But yeah, so I met him up there, to be fair.
How long have you been a chef for, Ez?
Sorry?
How long have you been a chef for?
About 37 years, something like that.
Very nice. What would you say the pros and cons are?
The what?
The pros and cons. What would you say the pros and cons of being a chef
You've
are?
got to love it. You've got to love the trade. It's hard, long hours, on your feet all day long, no respite at all, and you've got to be focused all the time to get through it because it is hard. But once you're doing it, it's something you love. It's a trade that you love or you hate. You're going to do it or you're not going to do it.
Nice. And Mum, you've been like me. I've had numerous jobs. You've had a lot of jobs, haven't you? What's been your favourite job in your life so far?
Mine?
Mum.
I enjoyed Corals, to be fair, because I like meat.
So Corals is a greyhound stadium. They do dog races in England.
Yeah, I worked at the squash club part, the health part, so I quite enjoyed that. I worked for social services for best part of 20 years.
That's been your most recent, right?
I still work for them, but very, very part time. because it's a bit of a. I'm on my own a lot, just sort of meeting families and who are in foster care basically. And
what's going in there, Ez? Sorry, Mum.
Well, I just should bat in there. All I've done now is I've started toasting me lentils off. I've just added half teaspoon of turmeric and a teaspoon of both cumin and coriander. But if you only got curry powder,
I've got cumin and I've got turmeric, I believe. I've got cumin, that'll do.
We got
Cumin?
Yeah, cumin. A good teaspoon of cumin.
Very good cumin.
Now you just lightly toast your spices.
Yeah.
Don't leave them there too long.
How long? About 5 minutes? What are we talking?
You got to keep them on the move. And just literally just releasing some oils from the spices without burning them. Do not burn them.
Okay.
Now then you're going to turn it down.
Yeah.
Add some water or liquid.
How much? Just a little bit. How much water is?
You're going to if you put half a cup of lentils in there, you're going to need at least probably 1 to 1 1/4 cups of water or stock or whatever you want to use.
Okay. Yeah, I'll use water as well. Mum, so when you've been working, obviously with your job, you're not really an office-based job. You're always moving around. In terms of eating, how do you usually plan around that? Do you pre-make food and take it with you throughout the day? Or do you usually...
Yeah, it's over lunchtime. Yeah, I used to, because most of these places, the families wanted to go to the real fast food places like McDonald's, KFC. So, save me, eating unhealthily. I used to take just like a pasta or, a wrap or something, just to sort of stay healthy, because you can go into that you think, oh, no, or I might as well just have the same. So, yeah, I used to plan it, which was, you have to plan if you want to eat healthily.
Just going to add a bit of garlic and ginger puree to the dal.
I haven't got that, so I'm not going to add that in.
No, that's fine.
So, like everything, obviously, going through the cooking shows that we've done so far, it's not, and this is what Eric obviously emphasised too, it's not about having a strict, these are the ingredients, and you'll see that a lot in the cookbook.
You can adapt to anything, like the vegetables, you can put any, as you say, you've got asparagus there, you can put asparagus in there, it's up to you what you've got in your cupboards, basically.
Yeah, so as long as the main foundation's there, you can kind of add your own little twist to things, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And what about you, Ez? Obviously, when you go after food prep and stuff, how do you incorporate the food? Do you basically eat what you're cooking that day when you're out, obviously, making meals for people? Or how do you do your how do you get your energy and your food intake in every day?
We don't really have a lot of time when you're working to actually sit down and eat at all. So it's literally after service. Chefs tend to be pickers. We don't actually sit down and have a full meal. But when I get home, obviously I'll cook at home and we'll have a dinner then if I'm home in time or whatever. So.
Fair enough. So what is in the onions, the red lentils in the pan, we call it, what do you call it, the aubergine? We call it an eggplant.
Yeah, that's in the oven. That's in the oven roasting.
That's in the oven roasting.
Right, next stage is this pan here. We're going to start cooking our vegetables for our curry.
Okay.
So in that pan, chuck in some onions.
All veggies going in at once, Ez?
Onions first. Now the more colour you get in the onions, the more flavour you're going to get in a dish.
Okay, good to know. And what temperature is the water, red lentils and onions? Is it kind of a medium heat?
The lentils are now just simmering. Literally just...
The onions are going
in a pan. We're going to get a little bit of colour and we want a little bit of caramelisation on them. You want to burn, just a little bit of caramelisation.
Okay. So Ez and Mum, when they came out to visit me in September, we hadn't seen each other for a few years, which I mentioned in the cookbook as well. But when you guys came out, I kind of mentioned that I was plant-based, didn't I? And talk about your, especially kind of growing up, what's been your main emphasis in terms of food? Do you have like a strict kind of, I need to get as much meat as I can, fish, or do you just literally wing it day by day and think this is what I fancy? How does it work around your lifestyles?
Right, so what I've done then, they're youngins, it's just a little bit of colour on them.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear much there, Nick. Sorry.
I'll ask you again. No worries. I just say about your lifestyle and eating. Obviously, I'm plant-based, but you guys eat meat and fish. When you plan your meals, is it based on how you feel that day, or do you actually plan it weekly? How does that work?
It's usually the day before we plan it. To be fair, I'm not really a great meat eater. I could easily go vegetarian, but Eric's not really interested. And I've threatened to cook a couple of times a week vegetarian, but he's not really that interested. So I'm hoping that he'll change his mind, especially after this. This is encouraging.
When you're saying you're hoping he changes his mind, what are the reasons for that? Like, why? What's your hope in that sense?
Well, because I think we have enough red meat. I mean, like usually probably about at least 5 times a week we'll eat red meat, and then the rest will be chicken or fish or whatever. But I just think we should cut not so much meat.
We do eat a lot of chicken, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, but also I think red meat. Personally, I don't think it's that good for you. But obviously, if Eric likes it, he likes it. But
as you know, Nick, I like a good steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cooks an absolute beauty here, and you actually said to me, didn't you? He said, "Oh, do you mind?" I was like, "No," because I love looking at it. I love the smell of the steak. But and I always say to people, like, they ask me, "Do you miss it?" Of course, I miss it. But obviously, I have my own reasons for not eating meat now, and everyone's different. So yeah, I mean, Mum. I mean, going back to you. I'm open and honest with my mum. So, and I asked her when she came over about her diet and her drinking habits. We've had some, proper conversations about it, haven't we, Mum? And at times you say you struggle with it, especially you were excited a few months ago. She asked me what I have in my smoothies, because I have a smoothie every morning. And bless you, she sent me a picture at the store, like all her ingredients. She's all excited about it. And then I said to her, yeah, I'll give it a week before it's done. And after about a week, it was done, wasn't it, Mum?
But I'm trying to get back on it now. I don't know why.
Everyone that Kaylee and I speak to, well, not everyone, but a lot of them are in the same boat. They get excited about, I'm going to have a smoothie every single day because I know the health benefits. But after about a week or so, it kind of was like, what are the reasons? Why was it difficult for you to stick to and be disciplined with a smoothie?
I don't know. I think I do get a little bit bored and with the same thing. Not the same smoothie, but as in smoothie. It could be any smoothie. And then sometimes you just fancy like a bowl of bran flakes or, sort of like scrambled egg. I think it was a habit, to be honest. It was longer than a week because I started taking them to work. And I must admit, they did make me feel good. But again, I don't know. I do struggle with a smoothie. I don't know what it is. But is
it getting it down? Is it actually thinking, fuck, I've got to make this?
It's just, to me, it's a drink.
It's like a little it's like a pre-meal. That's how I do it. Sorry, the onions are going in. Are we putting the veggies in yet?
Yeah. Now, you put your spices in now.
Okay.
So whatever spice you've got in your curry powder.
Yeah, they're all going in. Extra curry powder for me because I'm obsessed with curry.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Put it in. You must fry it off slightly to release all the oils so it doesn't get bitter at the end.
See, stuff like that I'm fascinated with. As like I told you guys, I'm kind of a quarter of the way through a cooking school that I'm doing. It's stuff like that for the normal cook like myself, and I'm guessing my mum, where you don't know about things like that. And that's why I'm fascinated about cooking at the moment, because I think everyone can cook, definitely, but there's little things like that, little tips that just emphasize the dish, don't they? Like you just said, I would have never thought of doing that normally.
Yeah.
Right, your lentil dal, mate, keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
If it needs to get top enough water, yeah, put a bit more water
Absorbs enough water.
If you need to put more water into it, you can add more water to it.
Okay.
Basically, of a thick soup when it's finished.
Okay. Yeah. It's looking like it's going to come that way soon. Veggies going back in the pan. All of them now, or
Where you on?
Veggies in the can or not?
No, you cook your spices off yet?
Yeah, they're cooking off. They're cooking off. How long do they take?
Just a couple of minutes.
Show the pan. This is what it's looking like, Nick.
Right, that's my onions with spices now. They're cooked off. Come on there.
Okay.
I've got me garlic and onion puree.
Yeah, that's what I can't put in.
I have.
Oh, it smells good.
I got. Now, I don't know if you got tinned tomatoes, have you?
I haven't got tinned, I've got fresh.
Fresh tomatoes even better. Yeah, I have fresh tomatoes.
Adding them in now, or?
And you're going to add those to your salt, to your spices.
Better wash them, just dropped them on the floor. It's good, isn't it? One tomato, Ez?
Diced tomato, yeah.
How many?
How many?
You're probably going to need at least 3 or 4 tomatoes in that.
Depends on the size, really.
Cut them small as you can.
Okay.
Because obviously I've used tinned tomatoes, but just to speed things up a little bit.
Fair enough. They're going straight in now with the onions, right?
Okay.
Yeah, with spices and onions, yeah?
Yeah, that's going in.
What's your favourite dish, Nick, so far? If you had to pick one.
It's a good question, actually, because Kay and I always talk about that. So we go through the cookbook now that it's done, and we ask each other, what is, if you had to pick one. I was so surprised with the plant-based lasagna that she made. It was ridiculous. It no pasta. It was just she used eggplant, and it was phenomenal. Probably one of the best I've ever had, I must say. And also a sweet potato quesadilla. But we're learning as we go as well. There's some dishes that taste like shit. There's some dishes that are really nice. You just basically experiment with all of it, because it's new cooking to me. I'm used to just sticking a burger in the oven, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Right, while we're doing all this, mate, well, you've got your sauce on the go now. So you've got curry sauce on the go, your tomatoes in there, reducing that down, turn attention to the bread.
Okay, we're going to make, what's it called?
It's just a flatbread, this is.
We're going to make a flatbread. So what's in this?
All I've got here is flour, baking powder, and whatever spices you want to use in there. It's up to you. But if you're going to put any nuts in there or anything like that, toast them off first. In a dry frying pan, toast them off so you get a bit of colour in there.
That's what I'm doing here with these sesame seeds.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. What are you stirring there, Mum? The onions and tomatoes?
Is it the dull? Is this the dull bit?
No, this is the dull here.
That's the dull bit.
Right, just add a little bit of water to the flour and the baking powder and spices. Just want to bring it together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a dough. It's not dry, and it's not very wet. So it's pliable. If you make it too wet, you can always put more flour in it. If it's too dry, you just add more water to it. There's no set way of just Go by feeling.
It's the first time I've ever done something like this, so I'm actually using.
The other day, and
I'm
I
using.
must admit, I was pretty impressed. It wasn't as good as Eric's, but it was so easy. And because I made too much, I stuck some in the freezer. And then when we have things like curries and anything with sauce, I do like a bit of bread. And this is much less.
There's no fat in it at all.
So it makes sure it's healthier. So you can freeze it.
Right, shall I have my sesames in theirs now?
Does he put sesames?
Maybe a little bit more.
Everything in, what spice you want in there, what flavourings you want in there. See, in mine, I've got some black onion seeds. I've got a little bit of turmeric. I've got some pumpkin seeds. So
nice.
Salt and pepper, basically. So
Ed, do you want to show your consistency? I want to compare it to mine.
There you go. It's like a soft dough. Little tacky, but not too much.
So that's the almond flour version of it.
Yeah, cool. Because if it's too dry, you can put some flour down. It'll absorb the flour as well and make it very, very dry.
Okay. Any specific shape we're doing with this?
So basically, for a flatbread, we're going to just put the flour please. So mine's just.
So I don't have a rolling. I'm guessing you're going to get a rolling pin out.
No, you don't have to. If you haven't got a rolling pin, I'll show you the little chefy thing. Cling film. It's always a good rolling pin. But you don't have to use it rolling pin.
Didn't see it. Cling film he uses.
Okay.
As a rolling pin.
I don't have that. I don't have that either. So quarantine, innit?
A little bit of flour down your board.
Okay. Let me grab my board.
A little bit of dough.
It smells so good in here.
Yeah.
Can you smell it from here? Basically, now what we've done here is just flattened out. I didn't use a rolling pin, just flattened out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just giving it a whack.
Wash your hands. For 20 seconds, of course.
Yeah.
Happy birthday twice.
So, Mum, let's go back to you and your drinking habits, because that's always been a big topic for me and you. That she doesn't, she hates it. But our discussion, because we grew up in a culture of, as we've talked about in England in particular, you're always surrounded by alcohol constantly. Go on, everything's going in.
I'm going to chuck this veg into the curry sauce now.
You got peppers, we're using green and red, mushrooms, and we call it zucchini.
Courgette to us.
The drinking culture in England has always been, every social environment is surrounded by a drink, and we grew up with that. I did myself. And obviously I reined in my habits because I did get out of control. Again, I mentioned that in the cookbook along with my dad. But with you, Mum, we've had many conversations about it. And there's part of you at times that says, yeah, I know, but there's part of you that, and you have every right to say, fuck it, you know what I mean? I enjoy myself with it. Where are you at with it now? Do you have any more thoughts on that? Because I know we get the same questions day in, day out, and it always reminds me of you. People who just trying to find that balance. What would you say to that?
Well, to be honest, I don't go over the top. I mean, that,
No, you're not a rager. I mean, she's not having 20 pints a night, but...
Yeah, I mean, I do like it. I just like to have that drink at the end of the day, it relaxes
or three.
me. I like the taste of it. I'm only a cider drinker. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't drink spirits or.
I mean, the cider she chooses, I'm not going to mention it, but it's not the best, is it, Mum? It's full of sugar. And we're trying, Ez and I, when she came to visit, we tried all these variations of organic ciders, but nope, that ain't happening.
I think it was the most sober I've ever been. But no, I do enjoy it. I do try and moderate it, to be fair. Myself and Eric do a day on and a day off now, because obviously 7 days a week is far too much. But, you know, again, the day on might just be 1, or it could be 3. But
is it normally 1, Mum?
No.
She is actually quite good, you know. She can do 2 cans, and that's it.
Yeah. So that's not bad.
That's an improvement, because I was, you know, I openly told you guys about it, where especially as a guy, we like to suppress our feelings, and we don't like to share problems, because, you know, it's not a man thing to do. It's, you know, we're big and strong type thing. And when I look back, I had a drinking problem, because I wouldn't just have that 1 beer like I can now. It was always 2, 3, sometimes even 4. And it got to that point, I was having a shit day, and I'd get in the car and think, because you do it as well, man. You're the same as me. Oh, I can't wait to get home, and you say, oh, I can't wait to have that tinny. And that's what I had to change about my mentality. Whereas now I only drink on days when, you know, I fancy a cold one, which is usually once a week now. Is your mentality very similar to that, or?
Is what?
Is your mentality similar to kind of that, you know, I've had a shit day, first thing?
Yeah. Well, again, I think it's a habit.
It's so easy to go down this road.
It is a habit, but
yeah, it is.
And I think, you know, one day, you know, hopefully, I may give up completely. But
to which, cheers.
Cheers. I haven't even had a sip of mine yet. I will in a sec. Been too busy cooking this lovely dish. Just trying to make this flatbread nice and flat.
Right,
sorry, Ez, what's the next step, mate?
I've just taken the aubergine out the oven.
Oh, yeah.
So how long did that? Oh, that was about 20 minutes.
Oh, Ez, you want to just quickly explain what you did prior?
Oh, yeah.
Basically, split the aubergine in half. You crisscross scoring it. Do not go for the skin, just in the flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Then all we're going to do now is just scoop it out. Because that's gonna be like your thickening agent for your curry.
Oh, brilliant. I wonder what we were doing with that. I just didn't want to ask. Good surprise that is. Well done. So we're going to scoop that out and add it to the lentils and onion mix?
No, to the curry, not to the lentils.
Okay.
Look at that. Going back in, I take it.
Will be.
What about you, Ez? Your drinking habits? You're more of a wine drinker, right?
Yeah, I do like glass of wine.
Too many already.
Yeah, he's 3 bottles in. But yeah, like you said, when you came to America, it was a little bit different, wasn't it? Because the variations I'm sure there are a lot of breweries and things like that in England, but you were quite surprised with the variety.
But they're not like where you were in Portland. There's microbrewery city, that wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant. Really, really good. Would you say you prefer wine to beer?
Yeah, definitely. But I would always start with beer or a cider or a Guinness or something like that.
Right, this scoop is going into the veggie mix.
I'll do that.
What's your tray?
Oh, no, hang on. That's what I said to you.
Right, I've just put the aubergine in with the curry now, the inside part.
Yeah.
So that's to be scooped aubergine.
Yeah, I just threw mine in the sink because it doesn't look great, does it? Okay, what's next, Ez?
Right, I put a little bit of oil into a frying pan, ready for me flatbread.
All right, so another frying pan, gotcha.
So all this can be done in advance. Like your flatbreads can be done in advance. and she put that through the oven, warmed up or whatever.
Okay, good to know.
Now you want a moderately hot pan, not burning hot.
Okay. And the lentils and onions still on the heat?
Yeah, they're still on the heat, and they're still basically you're making the lentils as soft as possible you can.
Okay, good to know.
So you're making basically like a thick lentil soup.
Gotcha. Mum, I'm thinking of, we get a lot of questions from mums, in particular, you know, with more than one kid. Obviously, you've had 3. I was obviously the best pick of the bunch. But when you cooked for us, did you think about that? Because again, in the book, I remember just mostly having, you know, burger, fries, nuggets. We'd have like corned beef hash, shepherd's pie, things like that. Did you plan anything, or did you just kind of wing it again? How did it work with a kid, you know, with us 3 kids coming back from school, super hungry? Did you just want to feed us, or how did that work?
Yeah, you have to plan. I used to have to plan that weekly, obviously alongside with the shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, like you come home from school, maybe you're back home about 3:30. I always made sure you had dinner about 4:30 or 5. Unfortunately, you know, your dad worked very late, so I used to have to wait for him. So we never really, until the weekend, ate together as a family.
Mm. Just start to fry a flatbread off now.
Okay, I've got to do that. Sorry, yeah.
But I must say that you weren't fussy eaters. You were very good. You liked everything. You liked fish. You liked all of it, to be fair. But yeah, it had to be planned. 3 kids.
A couple of fatties, weren't we? Go on, Ez.
Spoons, sterilised spoons, yeah. Taste your dal. Check your seasoning.
I live alone, so mine doesn't have to be sterilised.
Why are you sterilising?
Oh yeah.
He's adding more salt.
You need salt in it, mate.
Yeah, mine definitely did. And what about you, Ez? Obviously being a chef, and then you have kids of your own. How did that work? Were they picky eaters? Did you cook for them? Did your ex cook for them? How did that work?
What it was, because my kids were quite fussy, I used to cook the adult food, and my wife then, she cooked the kiddies' food.
So that's actually a good point, because we get a lot of the same questions too about picky kid eaters. And my mentality would probably be, you either eat it or you're going to go hungry. I'm not a parent, so I think it's unfair for me to even have an opinion on that. But was it just kind of easy to do 2 different meals, or how did you find it? Or obviously your ex-wife?
Well, that's why we separated it, because I refused to cook for fussy people. They were fussy. Like my daughter, she wouldn't eat any vegetables at all. And even if I'd disguise things, I'd grate things up into food, like a bolognese or something like that, it'd have to be everything very finely grated, so she couldn't see anything. If she saw a bit of an onion in there, she wouldn't eat it. It was like a nightmare. So,
I had a friend like that, actually.
I said, I'll do our food, our adult food, and let you do the kids' food.
Fair enough. We also get
my ex-wife's a chef as well.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that probably made life a little bit easier. In terms of...
I say chef.
Oh, here we go.
I say chef very loosely.
Here we go.
I asked, we get also a lot of questions about, you know, especially from the mum saying, I want to be plant-based, but my husband and my kids want to eat meat. And my response is, that's fine. Just instead, and they don't want to make 2 separate meals. So Katie and I always say, well, just make the substance, make, you know, lasagna, but fry up the meat on the side and add it at the end. You know, there's always an easy way to do it without having, because it's a big excuse to me when people do say that, like, I don't want to cook 2 meals. And I agree, no one wants to cook 2 meals. But there's definitely a way around it. Like I say, you can, if you're making plant-based tacos, just fry a pan of chicken, add them at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, my flatbread just kind of broke a little bit, but that's okay. Shit, that's hot, but it's all right.
No, it's fine, because you can cut it in quarters or whatever at the end anyway.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm going to add a little bit more curry powder to my dal. I think it needs it.
If you need to add more moisture.
Say again?
Yeah, if you need to add more moisture, remember it's like a thick soup. That's what you want at the end.
Okay. Looking good. Going forward, Mum, because you do ask me a lot about plant-based and all that. Are you thinking about incorporating more veggies, going away from meat completely, or are you just happy with your diet right now?
Who?
Mum.
Oh, me.
Yeah, like how you feel? Do you feel good? Are there days that you eat certain foods and feel like bloated, low on energy? Are there days you feel great because you've eaten certain foods? Do you pay attention?
Yeah, no, not really, to be fair. I mean, I used to feel good after having the smoothie, but I don't know whether that was just, you know, because in my mind, in a way, because, you know, obviously it's good to have like cauliflower, raspberries, you know, spinach and stuff. But I don't think I eat that badly anyway. I mean, if I was going to have, I'm craving eggs at the moment. And if I do have eggs, I will just do them in the microwave. There's no added fat whatsoever. And then I'll have that on a bed of spinach.
This is really good. I actually made this with a friend of mine, Paul, in another cooking Zoom call. It's called Just Eggs. It's a plant-based version. And I swear I cannot tell the difference because I've been craving eggs too. It's just a plant-based version. It cooks like eggs, tastes like eggs, feels like eggs. So I'd give it a go if I was you. I don't know if they have it in England. You'd have to check.
What is it, like an egg powder?
It's like just scrambled eggs mix in a pot. So the only thing I would say, I have it as a treat because there's a lot of ingredients in it. But you know, it's a good version for me who craves eggs and who won't eat them. Troy, what's the next step, mate?
Well, we're nearly there, really.
Nice, I can see it. The bread tastes really good.
Oh, that's good.
Right, that's your dal coming up there. Sort of consistency of your dal.
Yeah,
you see that?
I'm pretty much at the same, yeah.
Flatbread's coming up.
Hey.
Flatbread's coming up. Broke up a bit.
Yeah. Mine looks a little bit different because I'm using almond flour.
That's fine.
It tastes really good.
Up to you.
So, how would you plate this, Ez?
Right, I'm going to plate this on a bowl. So a deeper dish, if possible.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to put your dal at the bottom as a base sauce. You can put your aubergine on top of that, stuff your aubergine with your curry, then garnish it up as need be. Which we're going to go to the garnish now if you want to.
Yeah.
Which I've got spring onion.
Okay.
I'm going to cut it on a slant, yeah? Nice and fine.
So this is just sprinkled on top.
A bit of chilli. The chilli is optional. It's just
I'm not a spicy fan, as you know, but being in Albuquerque, which is famous for its chilies, I am actually starting to tolerate it a little bit more, and I love the flavour. I'm just going to add a tiny bit in because I don't want to overdo it.
To be honest, if you take your the pips and the pith out, the pith is where the spice is. The white bit inside holding the seeds in is the hottest part of the chili.
That part.
The white bit in there is the hottest part. So if you get a little teaspoon, just scoop it out.
Okay.
It'll take out most of the spice of it. These aren't very hot chilies anyway.
These will be because they come from Albuquerque, so they're going to be piping hot. So I'm only going to use a tiny bit.
We got some cilantro as well.
Yeah, what do you call it? I went to the shop this morning and asked someone for, hey, because I couldn't find it, where's your coriander? And they looked at me like I was an absolute alien idiot. So then I had to go on Google and type it in. And I was like, okay, now I feel like an idiot. So, hey, you live and you learn. So we're just chopping that up finally, Ez, or?
Sorry?
Chopping that up finely, the chili?
Just rough. Oh, well, the chili.
Just de-seed and just shred it very finely.
Okay.
It's like, is it zucchini or zucchini?
Zucchini.
Zucchini. You call it courgette, right? No.
Yeah.
Oh, courgette.
Yeah, I had that.
Right, you check your curries.
Yeah, mine's all good. Mine's good to go. Yeah, all the heat's off.
We're all ready to rock and roll, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna watch you plate it.
Back in the oven just to warm through. The skin, yeah.
Okay. Also, we're keeping the skin.
Right?
We're keeping the skin, right?
Yeah. That's your vessel.
Gotcha. And that goes back in. I'm glad I didn't throw it away.
You're eating it as well, aren't you, skin?
Yeah.
Okay. What's you moaning about, Mum?
I said you're eating it as well, the skin.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You eat that too, obviously.
Okay, so
Right, yeah.
Flatbread's nice.
yeah, it's really good, isn't it? I'm very surprised.
Easy.
It's so easy.
Right, this is all, as you say, all plant-based. So basically, first of all, your nice little lentil dal. So that's.
I'm just going to watch you. I'll plate mine after the call.
Soupy sort of textured. Yeah?
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah? So that's going to go on your base plate.
That's a proper chef right there. Look at the technique. What a guy. This is his time to shine, isn't it, Ez?
Oh, yes.
Thing is, he cooks every night from scratch.
Yeah,
Every
you don't.
night.
Lazy
I
ass.
sit there with a drink
Right.
and time with me.
Yeah, of course you do. Right, aubergine's gone in. Sorry, the eggplant. Yeah.
Your skin's got in there, that's it.
Okay. So for people who don't like the skin, Ez, just not put it, just not put it in.
You can just, well, if you're not going to have this like this, then you need to have either another vessel, or you can just have two halves of a dish. You can separate a bit of rice in the middle, so you've got a dal and a curry with a bit of rice in the middle. So all
Okay, perfect.
Do you have marrow? It's not ready here yet. But
I've never bought it, but I have no idea. Yeah, I've seen them. I don't know if we get them here, to be honest.
I used to do stuffed marrow, very watery but lovely, really nice. I should do that.
Did you?
I think you liked it at the time. But...
Right, so the curried veggies have gone in, and then sprinkle of that.
Just a little bit of garnish on top.
Look at that.
What a guy!
What I made earlier.
I'd pay $3 for it, easy.
And a little bit of cilantro.
Cilantro, coriander.
Look at that, hey?
It looks good from here, Ez. Right, you have to put it up to the camera. Yeah, look. Ooh, yeah. Brilliant. Do us a favour, take a picture of it so we can all see what you've cooked. So yeah, cheers for that, Ez. Thanks, Mum. I can smell it. I can't wait to taste it.
Don't forget the bread.
Don't forget the bread to dip it in. Yeah, put it on the